In my last video, I compared the sounds of the Takamine, my everyday guitar, with old and new strings. And today I wanted to do a comparison between this guitar, which is a good guitar, I definitely recommend it, with my best guitar, which is Gibson. This is a 1993 artist model. And I think I will save the rest of the discussion for the end of the video, and let's just get to the sounds. Like in the previous video, I'm going to compare the sound of this guitar with the other guitar using a variety of different techniques, starting with the pick. So let's do some strumming here. Next I'll do some alternating bass style with the pick. Next, we'll do the same chord progression, but using some fingerstyle arpeggios. Now we'll do the same chord progression, but with a cross-picking or Travis-style finger picking. Next I'll do an arpeggio version of the chord progression using finger picks and thumb pick. And last, we'll do a cross-picking style with the finger picks. Okay, I've assembled the video and I've had a chance to listen to both guitars side by side, and I have to say, I thought the Takamine stood up really well. I still prefer the Gibson, and I'll talk some more about that guitar, but let's concentrate on the Takamine to start with. Like I said, I think it has a nice sound, and I like it for beginners because it doesn't, you don't break the bank trying to buy it. The to get a top quality guitar can cost multiple thousands of dollars, whereas this one I saw listed for $6.99 from Sweetwater and from Guitar Center. And if you've got a local Guitar Center, you can go and try one out for yourself. Because it does have a solid wood top, and the sound actually improves with time. I noticed it with this one. I bought this one new, and after a couple of years, it started sounding a little more mellow as the top became a little more compliant. So that's one of the things I like about it. And the other nice features it has a preamp. It has pickups under the strings, and then it has a preamp here, so you can plug it directly into an amplifier if you ever need to do that. And then with the preamp is a tuner, so you can tune the guitar right here. You don't need to do a clip-on tuner, so it's kind of all in one. Another thing I like about it is the cutaway. Some people say that the cutaway can reduce the sound, but you're taking off a pretty small section of it. And if you're going to, be playing lead guitar, other things where you need access to these top strings, it's convenient. So it's a guitar I like because it's flexible. You're buying it as a beginner. You don't know necessarily what your style is going to be, if you're going to be all back here or if you're going to be up here with your playing style, and you don't know if you're going to be plugged in or playing into a microphone. So it can handle all of those situation. So yeah, overall I give it a good grade, especially considering the price. So now let's look at my good guitar. What I liked about the good guitar, and I noticed in the recording, is there seemed to be more bass, first of all, just listening to it. And then the second thing I noticed this more when I'm playing than I do when I'm listening, but it has more sustain. So when I'm setting my guitar down over here, this one is still vibrating and producing a significant tone, whereas the other one dies out a little more quickly. And I think that's the difference of having all solid wood. It's not just a solid top, but the back is solid, the sides are solid. And so a solid wood guitar like that will maintain the resonance better. And this one is also 30 years old, so it's had time to mellow, definitely. The artist model, this particular model is no longer made anymore, but it's based on the Gibson Everly Brothers model, which you can buy a new one, and it goes for $5,000. So I didn't pay that much for this. I got it used, and I got a much better price, even considering inflation. But, you don't have to go to that range to get a top quality new guitar. For example, a Martin D18, which is a famous brand, they sell a Dreadnought, same model as this, for $3,000 new, just the list price. And if you want to go and go into the used guitar market, you may be able to find some deals, better deals there. But I think, for a top quality guitar, you're probably looking in the $2,000 to $3,000 price range. So I definitely recommend trying a guitar out before you buy it on both the used and new guitars, but especially on the used ones. Lots of things can go wrong with the guitar over time. The neck can get bent. And so, if you play different strings and they start buzzing when you play up here, that's usually a sign that the neck is bent. Or if it's just the action is too high, so you have to press, down a quarter an inch to get the note to sound, things like that. And bridges have a different width. So this one, for example, is slightly wider across than the Takamine, which gives you a little more room for your fingers if you have trouble fitting your fingers in between the strings. But it can make some of the chords a little more challenging because it's a little more separation from the top string to the bottom string. So that's why, and also the shape of the neck, the back behind the fretboard, can affect how it feels while you're playing. So that's why I recommend getting out and playing a guitar before you actually commit to buying it. Okay, that's it for this video. So give me your comments below. Which guitar sounded better to you, and why? And also, if you have ideas for other videos you'd like to see, let me know.